Okay, this is quiz 4 revision. Let's start. Okay. Of course, before starting, I need to thank College Board and Khan Academy for the wonderful material they provide for SAT takers. يا جماعة, do not answer anything but for College Board material and Khan Academy material. That's the only valid source you need to use the material of only Khan Academy and the College Board. Malak? Yeah, Malak is in the session. Malak. Okay, Abrahman.
Yes, miss.
Okay, you will help me with the first question. Which finding, if true, would most directly support the student's hypothesis? That's textual evidence question. Textual evidence question in which we read from the left to the right, but while searching, we will search from the right to the left. So number one, I need to get the student's hypothesis. What is the hypothesis? So while reading the text, you read for a purpose, getting the hypothesis. Then you will navigate the choices, trying to get which one supports that hypothesis. This is number two. Okay. Malak has an electricity problem. Okay, by the way, it's recorded. This part is recorded. All this shit is recorded. Yes, Abrahman. I want you to read and get the hypothesis, then we will go through the choices. Where is the hypothesis?
I will begin reading.
Yes.
As a monthly newsletter formed in 1969 by a group of Asian American students at University of California, Los Angeles, GEDRA helped raise awareness about social and
Just a
political
second.
issues.
Just a second. We need to incorporate some writing into the reading part because they will help you understand. This is a modifier. This is somebody. Okay, Hanine started typing the answers. This is a phrase, an introductory phrase, and when we have an introductory phrase, this is we call it a modifier, and then you need to check the modified. Where is the modifier here? A new settler as a monthly new settler formed in the blah blah blah. Continue reading. So the main topic here is what? Or the main subject?
It's talking about the GEDRA.
Yes. Helped raise awareness,
Helped raise awareness about social and political issues concerning the Asian American community on campus and at large.
Very good. The community. Can you see the adjectives? The adjectives are very important. Okay, the new settler had
the new settler had an expansive reach for publication of its kind. Around 4,000 copies were published each month. A student writing a history paper, however, hypothesizes that GEDRA's influence
that's
be
what
measured by the number.
Now, that's the hypothesis, right?
Yes.
What is the hypothesis that
that GEDRA's influence can be measured by the number of
cannot
settlers.
Be measured by the what? By the number, right? But here he said the newsletter, had what? Do you hear me well? The internet? My friend?
Yes.
Okay, do you now do you hear me well?
Yes, miss.
Okay, here he said an expansive. That's an adjective, reach of publication. Then he mentioned a number. And here we have, however, that the numbers cannot be or cannot measure the extensive reach, right?
Yes.
So there is more or less than those numbers.
The reach is bigger than the numbers.
Yes, it's bigger than the numbers because the numbers cannot only measure the extensive or the expansive reach. We should not rely mainly or only on the numbers. Maybe there are more than the numbers, or the numbers cannot accurately measure the extensive reach of of that topic. So do you remember your answer? Some people said C.
Yes, C.
And some people did D, right? Okay, what's wrong with D, Abdurrahman? Do you
Because
have...
the works of art and literature is not mentioned in the passage.
Yes, it's not. So there is no clue for the works of art. Okay, people would often give their copies, their copies to others once they had finished reading an issue. Why this is the... What does it mean?
It means
does
that
it have to do with the numbers?
Yes, it means they will more people read it than both copies.
So not some numbers are not documented since some people buy or do not buy.
Do not buy.
Yes, because they take from their friends. So I read this book, and after reading it, I hand it to you. You will read it. That's an extensive reach. But concerning numbers, in terms of numbers, it's only one copy sold. Is it clear? Does anyone have a problem with this question? Thank you, Abdul Rahman. Maryam?
Yes, yes.
Okay, I need you to help me with the second question. But concerning the first question, why are the numbers? Why aren't they accurate? Or there are more? Why? Why are there more than the numbers? Or the numbers do not reflect accurately the extensive reach? How?
It's published each month.
Yes. What more? And
so and alone each month.
According to C, people would often give their what?
Their copies.
Yes, to others.
Once they have.
So do the others buy?
No,
No, they don't buy. That's why it's not accurate. The number is not accurate. Okay, number 2. Quantitative evidence questions, which yes.
هو في أسئلة الجراف في أسئلة هيكون لازم نستخدم فيها الجراف ونقرا التكست وكده، ولا في أسئلة بس الجراف based on the graph بس من غير مش لازم يعني نقرا التكست تحت؟
في الاثنين. انت قصدك ان انت ممكن تحليها بالجراف بس؟
اه.
ما هو some questions you will find the three choices are incorrect. Only one of them is correct. This case, you can mainly depend on only the graph or the table. But if you have the four choices are correct in the graph or the table, you need to check the text. But how am I supposed to know? Should I start with the choices? If I start with the choices to figure out if it's correct or incorrect, I will waste my time. The correct sequence, you read the graph and the table, or the table, okay? But try to read the title, just the title, and the units, okay? Then it's a very short text. You will find it very short text to read. This is number 2, and this is number 3. Okay?
So, yes.
So what?
Yes, I understood. Thank you, Mr. But can you scroll down to see the other choices?
Okay.
I think B.
Okay, the others, your answers, please, my friends. B and C. Okay. According to, look at that, according to the table, the 3 participants wanted the room to be cooler. Look at choice B. Even though each participant's ratings varied throughout the day. Is it true?
No.
Why?
It was because I think it was all the time cold.
I know, but here he said each ratings varied, which means we do not have the same ratings throughout the day. Don't we have, or we have same ratings, some of them?
We have same ratings, except for one.
Yes. So I will eliminate this. Okay. C. Participant 20 reported feeling significantly colder than the other 2 participants did. Is it right?
Yes.
This is 20. Minus 2, colder than 1 or not?
Yes.
Yes. So minus 1, colder than 1, Loma, the other 2 participants. Okay, is it clear?
Okay. Yes, thank you, Mr.
You're welcome. Thank you, Mariam. Haneen?
Yes.
I need you to help me with this question. States the main idea, that's a central idea. Type. I need you to type your answers, please, all of you. Haneen, do you remember your answer?
Oh, I didn't see.
You did C. What about the others? Okay, the main idea. I will start with the choice itself. Read it. An experiment.
An experiment showed that the way rewards are given out may affect whether young children think the situation is fair.
Okay, an experiment showed that the way rewards are given reflect the fairness, right? So the way of giving rewards, reflect the fairness of the situation according to those young children. I need a clue for this.
At the beginning of the sentence, when they said they wanted to test how children think about rewards and the fairness.
This is the first sentence, right?
Yes, and then they explained the experiment. So this what makes it the main idea.
Okay. Okay, can you explain? The children were then asked who was fairer, but what was the experiment? The teacher.
The experiment itself, it's written in the second sentence that the teacher handed out rewards while children ages 4 to 6 watch it. And then
one of them counted loud. Counted loud. That was a way. One of them counted the rewards out loud. And the others. Huh?
One of them counted their words out loud. And
this is the way. One way of giving.
Okay.
Right? But the other way is what? What is the other way?
The teacher did not count.
Did not count out loud. Huh. And the result now, 73% chose that the teacher who counted can
fair.
Fair. The last sentence, the children may have believed that the teacher who did not count, that's another way of giving rewards, did not care about fairness. So counting out loud, fair. Not counting out loud, unfair. So counting out loud and not loud, ways of giving rewards. But the children, the young children, tied the way of giving rewards to
the fairness.
To the fairness. To fairness. That's why the experiment showed that the way rewards are given out, loud or not, reflect the
whether young children think it's fair or not.
Fair, loud, not loud, unfair. What's missing in choice D? معايا حنين صح؟
It's only mentioned one idea, which is the fair one and being
the fairness. Okay, طب what's missing?
The other one, the not fair.
لا. What's missing? The way of giving rewards. That's missing in choice D. Is it clear?
No.
Or not?
I didn't understand the last thing.
The last part, يعني choice D, said psychologists think young people expect to be rewarded when the children show that they care about fairness. So the only idea mentioned, main idea mentioned is fairness. But you told me before that the best or the main idea of the text is what? The way of giving out rewards reflect fairness.
The
So
rewards.
the main idea should entail both issues. The way of giving rewards, اللي allowed or not,
Okay.
and fairness. D, yes, fairness is mentioned. But the way of giving,
But the way isn't mentioned.
yes, not mentioned in the choice. That's why we need to choose the inclusive choices. Some choices, part of them right, part of them wrong. Some choices mention only part of the truth, part of the main idea, but misses other parts. Like this choice misses the other parts. Okay, go to B. One word. Clueless.
Fair. They mentioned the way, but they didn't mention if it is fair or not.
Very good. And also, did we mention, or did the text mention math? I don't think so, right?
No.
It's not the main idea, or it's not one of the
No,
main
it didn't
ideas. Thank you. Thank you. حنين. ملك. اللي كان معايا معلش سوري، ملك ولا حنين؟
أنا حليت السؤال اللي قبليه يا حنين.
تمام. ملك. Are you in?
Yes.
Okay. Your answers يا جماعة. حنين حنين, help me please with this question. Your answers يا جماعة. حنين said B. We have B and we have D. Sorry?
I don't remember my answer.
Speak a little bit louder.
No, I chose D. I remember. I chose D. I chose
D.
D.
Okay, okay. This is question number 4, right?
Yes.
Okay. Which choice most logically completes the text? This is an inference question. Okay. I want you to read and try to highlight the most important ideas.
Off-Broadway theaters emerged in the late 1950s as a rebellion against mainstream Broadway theaters in New York.
Against
create productions
against theaters. So theaters, يبقى Broadway, off Broadway, against mainstream
Broadway theater.
Okay, very good. It's a rebellion against.
Freeing artists to create productions that were more experimental than typical Broadway shows. One such artist was playwright Maria Laurie Torrance. Working with off-Broadway theaters enabled Torrance not to only direct her own plays, but also to direct them exactly as she intended them to be staged, regardless of how strange the results may have seemed to audiences accustomed to Broadway shows. In this way,
so what's distinguished? What's distinguished here?
That her play was different than the usual ones.
So the text is in favor of off-Broadway theaters or mainstream Broadway theaters?
Off-Broadway theaters.
Yes. That's the difference between off-Broadway theaters and mainstream theaters, that they enable artists, or they free artists to create whatever blah 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 in their own way. So it seems that it's a positive tone toward off-Broadway theaters. So I think that's, you chose D, right?
Yes.
Because Fornes illustrates okay. What's wrong with C? What's missing? Compare C to D.
C
Compare
talks about
A,
being
C,
too-
compare A and C to D.
Okay, C talks about the play being too expensive, but the main idea has nothing to do with expensive.
Yeah, what's missing in A and C? The most important word.
Okay, in C doesn't talk about the artistic opportunity and that it's free.
Specifically, the most important word. What enabled Fornes? How did the text start? The text targeted mentioning the benefits or the advantages of what? What helped Fornes? Aywa, that's the issue. So this is the main topic. Off Broadway theaters. Look at A and C. Would have famous blah blah blah, not mentioned. Where is off? Where? It's not mentioned. Go to C.
Not there.
It's the same. Where is off Broadway theaters? Not mentioned. So A and C did not entail the most important word in the text. The text was written to talk about the benefits of Broadway theaters that enabled Fornes to do so and so and so. So this word needs to be mentioned in the choice specifically. Go to B. Recognized that staging an off Broadway play was more complicated than staging a Broadway play. What's wrong with that?
It's the opposite of the main idea.
And I feel the tone is somehow negative toward off play. It's complicated.
Yes.
It's somehow negative. And I don't know if, or the text doesn't mention if mainstream Broadways or the other theaters staging complicated or not. It's not mentioned. So if you want to compare between both of them in terms of complication or the complexity, both must be mentioned in the text. But nothing is mentioned about the complication or the complexity of staging in mainstream Broadway theaters. So there is no clue. The key word here, free the artist. Off Broadway theaters freed the artist to create. So these are the positives of Broadway, which is mentioned here in D, the opportunity offered by off Broadway theaters. Is it clear?
Yes.
Thank you, Amalek. So it's very important, my friends. We could have answered or discussed only the right choice, but it's very important during sessions. You will not do so during the exam. Now it takes time because now we learn how to eliminate. And I prefer that you have the talent of eliminating choices more than having the talent of choosing the right or to be convinced with the right choice. So it takes a lot of time now, but now we are trying to handle or to master the elimination skill and technique. Abdul Rahman.
Yes, Musa.
vocabulary, inventing, counting, replacing, preserving. Type your answers, please, my friends. What's your answer, Abdul Rahman?
D.
Preserving. Okay, I need you to give me the clue, and we have C, replacing. Okay, read, please.
Okay, Charles
Start
Stanley
from the
Harris was a
second sentence.
professor.
Second sentence, during
Okay.
his career.
During his career, he took over 70,000 photographs documenting everyday life in Pittsburgh Black communities. The Carnegie Museum of Art maintains thousands of his photographs, carefully preserving, because maintains,
Very good. Maintains. What does it mean, maintains?
like to keep it protected.
Keep. Protect, which is like,
Preserve.
preserve. Documenting, maintaining. The museum itself keeps anything safe, protects. So the museum does not replace, does not count, does not invent. The museum just protects, preserves the photos. Thank you. Mariam?
Yes, Mr.
Okay, let's move to a function question. Your answer
Yes,
and the
Mr.
others. Do you remember your answer? We have A and
C.
we have
Yes,
D.
I think it was C.
A, C, and D. Okay, A. Look at the function. Look.
But I'm
to
not
give-
sure if it was C.
It's
the
okay. We
exact
will
C.
discuss the differences between all choices. To give an example, this is A. C, right? To claim
Yes.
several characters. D, to illustrate how the subjects addressed in her comic changed over the course of her career. This is question number 5, my friends.
Yes, I think.
Okay.
There were 17 questions.
This is 5 or 6? Okay. We need to read to figure out the purpose.
J.K. Arms, Toshi Brown, and Dixie to Harlem, 1937-38 was the first comic strip by a black woman to appear in a widely
Black woman, right?
Yes.
So it's like a book or a novel, whatever.
Yes, to appear in a widely read.
The story of whom?
Toshi Brown.
Yes, a young woman who
A young
lives
woman who lives in Mississippi
to become
a performer in New York City. Toshi's story reflects the experience of the Great Migration 1910 to 1970, when millions of Black Americans left the South in search of opportunities in other parts of the United States. Toshi Brown thus shows how Orms used comics to
So the main purpose Orms or Jackie Orms used literature for what reason? To what? To
reflect the experience of the Great Migration.
Okay, and to comment
To comment
humorously
humorously on issues affecting Black Americans, which she continued to do throughout her career.
a reflection. So literature for her, a reflection of the life of the Black Americans during that time. So the main purpose of the text, you said D. Let's go to D to illustrate how the subjects. Do we have many subjects or just one subject?
Only the Omers and the Mr. I said C.
I know. We are discussing D.
I think
Do the
it's only
subjects.
the Toshi Brown, but I'm
Yes.
confused because it mentioned the Omers and her.
Okay. Did they change over her career?
No, they didn't.
Look
No, they
how
didn't.
Orms used comics to comment humorously on issues affecting Black Americans, which she continued to do through her career. So that's the opposite of what? Changing over. The subjects didn't change. It's the same. She continued to do so. She continued to use literature to reflect the problems of the Americans, the Black Americans, problems or issues affecting Black Americans. So indeed, he said the subjects or the topics changed over. They did not. In the text, he said continued to. Okay, C. To claim that several characters in Torchy Brown were based on people that Orms knew personally.
I think no.
Why?
Because it's on the general Black American.
يعني انت ما عنديش clue لان هنا they know ايه؟
It's too general.
Very general, very broad. طيب
Yes.
هو how many characters in the story؟
Only Toshi Brown.
في التكست اللي عندي هنا discussed just one.
the Black Americans.
لا هو الكاركتر بيقول لي several characters. هو in Torchy Brown how many characters فيها؟
لا واحدة.
right؟
هي السترايب اللي هي عاملاها فيها characters اما يعني خلاص هي واحدة.
لا انا بتكلم هنا على التورشي براون ستوري.
لا only البلاك Americans.
مش تورشي براون ده it's a character.
Yes.
اللي هي a young تورشي اللي هي young woman.
Yes.
right؟ في الستوري دي في التكست where several characters mentioned in the text. ممكن الستوري فيها maybe in the story, of course in the story there are several characters, but in the text في الامتحان هنا التكست دي this text mentioned several characters
لا
ولا just one character
only one character.
only one character. توتشي يا مستر انت عايزنا ناخد بالنا من السنجلر والبلورال؟ لان روحي على ايه؟ بيقول لي ايه؟
To give an example of how
an example اللي هو مين؟ اللي هي مين؟
اللي هي توشي براون.
بالظبط. Is it clear?
Yes.
حنين.
Yes.
What did you get in the process of elimination here?
I got that D is wrong because they only mentioned one subject, and also they didn't change over her career.
So change
So
it.
that's
It's
what
the
we-
opposite of continue.
Yes.
Well, we also need to pay attention to the singular and plural while eliminating.
Yeah.
Okay, it's very important to give an example. هو تورتشي يا مستر. طب ما هي الستوري اكيد فيها different characters. Yes, there are several characters, but the text في الامتحان mentioned or focused mainly on Torchy Brown, which is like in an example of how Orms presented the experiences of Black Americans in her comics. I want you to help me with the next question. Does anyone have a problem with this question? Do you need explanation, different explanation?
No.
Okay. You will help me with the pair texts. Type your answers, please, my friends. Your answers? What's your answer?
I did it A.
Okay. The others, please type quickly. Based on the text, what would Lisa, text 2, had say about the interpretation presented in the underlying portion of text 1? Has start with text 2 or text 1?
Start with text 1.
Text 1. All or just a part, a specific part? The underlying portion, صح?
Yeah,
Huh?
I read it most of it. Yes.
Okay. Now I just need you to read the underlying part because I think it's clear to be interpreted. You can start with these small face mold-made sculptures, huh?
Present plants, animals, and human faces in precise ways.
Precise ways. Okay.
Representing
what?
faces,
Yes.
human faces are so detailed that scholars have interpreted facial markings to represent scars and other skin irregularities.
Yes. ده كان السيراميك تقريبا vessels. Okay, reflected the life, but they used those to or vessels presenting human what? Human faces. Yes.
Detailed.
So the facial markings, facial markings represents scars and other skin, huh?
Irregularities.
Yes. يعني هي represented, those scars represented or they were interpreted to be a sign of skin irregularities. طيب text 2 بقى يا ترى will agree with that or not? Okay, where is the clue?
I think the last sentence from Trevor argues that the artworks in which sculptures could free their imagination using realistic objects.
I think it's at the beginning. It's easier at the very beginning. Art historian and archaeologists, Lisa, huh?
Has argued that okay.
So she was with this interpretation, or you think that she will be against that?
She will be against it.
Okay, there's another clue that she was against. Huh? What is that?
Hyper realistic.
Hyper, over, excessive, negative. So she was against. It was just creativity. This is the meaning. So the answer, you said markings.
8.
Explain it.
I think from what I got from the answer A that they don't need to be really realistic, and they're not like when they said it's not necessary to intend the
to
portray
reflect
the details.
بالظبط اللي هي particular details اللي هي skin irregularities. they thought that the scars دي represent اللي هي on the faces represent skin irregularities. Text 2 قالت it's imagination. No, it doesn't reflect, are not necessarily intended to portray particular details about the physical appearance, skin, and faces. Is it clear?
Yes.
Does anyone have a problem with that? What about D? It's likely some depictions of human faces with extensive markings are intended to portray.
D is she isn't against it. She's with
yes.
it.
Thank you so much. Malak? Next
Yes.
question. It's your turn. Now we will move to the writing part with transitions.
Some members of the specific community urge caution around the cause of genetically modified crops.
Urge caution. This is very important. Urge caution around genetically modified crops. So they suspect, arguing that
the long-term health effects of consuming such crops are unknown.
This is positive or negative tone?
Negative.
Very good. Look at the second sentence. They are
concerned about the environment.
Environment risks associated with GM crops. This is positive or negative?
Negative.
Negative, right? So which
yes.
one? Okay, you will compare. Now you will eliminate what?
Nevertheless.
Very good. No contrast. And you will choose
additionally.
Additionally. More. Health. Number 1 and number 2.
Environmental risks.
Very good. So adding to the risks. Thank you so much. Abdurrahman?
Yes, Musa.
Next question. Type your answers, my friends. Quickly. Abdurrahman, your answer?
I made it A.
These are the notes. Rhetorical synthesis. Question, the most important part is to read the stem at the very beginning. Okay? YA, analyze the stem. The student wants to describe.
Is used in assertion of well.
Yes, how fabric is used. اوكي معلش يا جماعه، هو انتوا كان المفروض الكلمات اللي تتحفظ ايه المره دي؟ مش كان في حفظ كلمات وانا ما اديتكوش حفظ كلمات؟
It was page 4 of the vocabulary sheet.
page 4.
Yes.
هي page 4 يعني مش انتوا امتحنتوها المره اللي فاتت ولا؟
احنا ما امتحناش المرة اللي فاتت، احنا خدناها هوم ورك وقلت لنا ذاكروا بيج 4.
مستر، هو الهومورك انا لما فتحته اللينك ده كان تقريبا احنا كنا حالينه قبل كده.
معلش ده كان لينك الفوكاب.
اه.
مش عارف. طب معلش ثواني كده. هو this is vocab word صح؟ انتوا ذاكرتوا ده كان من المذاكره اللي هو في page 5.
لا، اللي قبليه.
يعني احنا وقفنا هنا.
ايوه.
disorienting و dispute و distraction ودول. طب الحصه دي كان المفروض نذاكر ايه؟ الرابع ده 4.
ايوه.
انتوا خدتوا كويز عليه؟
لا.
المفروض هناخده النهارده صح؟
اه.
ده vocab quiz 4 مظبوط؟
ايوه.
ماشي. معلش يا جماعه احفظوا بس الارقام دي عشان ما اديكوش حاجه تانية متلخبطه يعني. اوكي let's go back. يا عبد الرحمن.
Yes.
How fabric is used in assertion of well. Why you chose A?
Because it describes how fabric is used. The other choices do not describe.
Okay, where exactly?
It says the figure's clothing is made of fabric pieces stitched to the painting's canvas.
Stitched to the paintings. This is how fabric is used. Stitch it to the paintings. Thank you. طب choice C. The stitching process or how fabric is used. In choice
It's
C
not
or
mentioned
not?
in it.
I think not mentioned in all the other choices.
Yes.
Thank you, Abdul Rahman. Mariam. Subject verb agreement. يلا يا جماعة type your answers to this question.
Yes, Mr. It's A because the subject is singular and it's the only different one.
The only different one.
Yes, and
Singular,
also
plural. طب where is the subject, please?
it's the shape of the skilled trumpet. The trumpet.
No.
لا the image دي.
لا. هو where is the, do you have a prepositional phrase here?
Yes, it's the shape.
لا, the prepositional phrase starts with the preposition. Where is the preposition?
أيوة أنا أقصد إن subject the shape of a
برافو.
skilled هي
هو of a
trump
skilled, that's a
preposition.
prepositional. برافو. I will eliminate it. So the subject ملك. Shape. So the shape allows. Subject and verb. Malak, do you have a question? Thank you, Mariam.
Yes. Do we always? Yes. Do we always have to eliminate the same choices?
In subject verb agreement?
We have to plural choices. Do we have to eliminate? Yes.
بص حبيبتي, I said that the last time. Again, in the last the paper SAT, eliminating the similar ones in this question, subject verb agreement, was like a trend. you choose the different one. يعني 3 singular 1 plural, choose the plural. 3 plural 1 singular, choose the singular, even without reading أصلا the sentence. But the last years or the last trials in the paper SAT, do you hear me well? The last trials,
Yes.
this rule didn't work. There were some exceptions. In that case, people are forced to get the subject. Type in the digital SAT, until now, all subject verb agreement questions, students eliminated the similar ones and chose the only different choice to be the right answer. And in all cases, they were right. But is there a guarantee that it will last and there will not be exceptions like what happened with the paper SAT? I can say that. It won't take time. So to be safe, get the subject. Go to the, he needs a verb here. He needs a verb. Very good. So eliminate phrases, interrupters, subordinate clauses, or any noun clauses. You will get the subject, the simple subject, match it to the verb. Yes, this can be a way, but to make sure I'm on the right track. But not the main and only way to do while answering subject-verb agreement question. Maybe there will be an exception, and I can't guarantee that. So why? If you're running out of time, it's okay, do it.
Okay.
If you have time, so why? Get the subject. And the text, it's a very short text. Okay?
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Maryam. Sorry. Haneen. And after Haneen, Malak. Haneen.
Oh, yes.
Okay, يلا يا جماعة, type your answers. Agreement and tense. What's your answer to this question?
I did it A.
A. Okay. Why brought?
Because first of all, there's escape. So
There's what? You search for another verb?
Yes.
Like?
Escaped.
Where escaped? Very good. Escaped. And also we have 18. 1875. Yes. So it seems that the tense is what?
And the past tense.
Past simple or simple past tense. That's why you chose brought. Thank you. Haneen?
Yes.
Next question. Your answers, يا جماعة, please quickly. A. The others, يا جماعة, please. A and B, D. Okay. Go ahead.
Yes. Taking some business courses, although demanding the deadline.
Okay, forget about it. It's not complete. Start from.
Although demanding the deadline-driven, video game design can be a lucrative and
Demanding.
rewarding field for people.
Just a sec. And did line driven, comma. What's this?
Subordinating.
It's not, we consider it's a phrase because the subordinate clause, if I say, although he went to the cinema, that's a subordinate clause. But although studying, you consider it as a phrase, Okay?
Okay.
And we have here a comma. And here we have a space. So it's supposed that this is which topic? If I start with a phrase, comma, and space, phrase, comma, space.
Supposed to be independent clause.
Modifier.
Okay. Okay.
Then after the phrase, you put question marks and ask yourself, what or who is demanding and deadline driven?
Video games.
يعني which choice بالظبط؟ الفيديو جيم ايه؟ مين اللي بياخد وقت؟
No change. No
No
change.
change. الديزاين demanding وليه deadline. انا ليا deadline.
No.
الاختيار the choice.
No.
The design itself. Although demanding and deadline. مين اللي deadline؟ مش الاختيار. مين اللي بيتسلم؟ مش اللي choice. الديزاين itself.
Okay.
الفيديو جيم ديزاين ده الفيلد. Okay? This question from the paper SAT. لكن it's the same skill.
Does it have to start with the word design?
معلش sorry, speak up a little bit.
Does it have to start with the word design? Because
Can it
starts
start with
video
design?
game. Yes. Does it have to
video
be
game
to be
design,
a
that's
paper?
Yeah, I can say يعني مثلا I can say although, yeah, look at that. I'll give you an example. If I say although old and مثلا old and cheap, comma, my dad or my dad's car. Which one? What is old and cheap?
My dad's car.
The car itself. I didn't start with car. Of course, I didn't start with car, but I need to introduce it, identify it. That's why I said my dad's car. That's the old and cheap.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. So the modifier, my friends, you need to reason. It's very important. But the clue, the indicator is when the sentence starts with the phrase, comma, space. Phrase, comma, space, يبقى modifier and modified. After the phrase, ask what or who. Next. Abdurrahman.
Yes, mister.
Okay. It seems this is possessive, right?
Yes.
Eliminate two. Eliminate two of the choices without reading or before reading.
B and D.
B and D, why?
Because the possessive should have a noun after it, and clocks has a comma after.
Yes. Comma, comma. There should be a noun. So that's why you will eliminate B and D. طيب هنا بقى هل هو body's biological clocks A or body's biological clock?
C.
C. Singular?
Yes.
Okay. What's wrong with A?
It does not have the possessive.
يعني هنا it's supposed to we're supposed to say the biological clocks of the bodies.
Body.
Right? Here body's biological
Yes.
clocks there's supposed to be or there was supposed to be apostrophe S or S apostrophe, so there is no possessive noun here, and وحتى لو في possessive noun it's the bodies. It has to be singular because it's a body. It has to be a singular possessive noun. Thank you. Mariam. Type your
Yes,
answers, my friends, now.
it's C.
Okay. Why?
Because it's dependent,
This is
subordinate clause.
and after subordinate comma, and after the comma.
Like fanboys. No, independent.
لا ما هنا although most blah blah are مش عارف كذا, this is the subordinate. الindependent بقى several
100. Okay.
have been identified verb. This is independent. Subordinate at the very very beginning يبقى comma, and after that independent like in.
بس لو يعني لو independent جت الأول مش هنحط كوما صح؟
بالظبط, ما عدا as while whereas.
اوكي.
يعني لو هي independent العكس وهنا subordinate no comma, لكن في independent comma لو subordinate starts with as, while, or whereas. That's the only exception in which we put a comma between the independent and the subordinate. Like if we start with independent and then subordinate, no comma. Subordinate, then independent, comma.
Okay, thank you, Mr.
Thank you, Mariam. Malak? يا جماعة, your answers, please.
Yes.
بسرعة يا جماعة. Malak, your answer?
I don't remember my answer.
Okay, we will answer it together. Okay, start with the beginning of the sentence, which is.
In 1959, a film industry called Smell of Vision, theaters were fitted with specialized vents that emitted outdoor odors at specific points in.
معلش أنا هكتب هنا such, صح؟
Yes.
Okay. يعني such as the scent. What's this group of words? Phrase or a clause? As the scent of.
Phrase.
Yes. Yes. So the punctuation will be, so, and the first part, theaters were blah 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 blah.
Independent.
Independent. And
Then a phrase. It would be A, I think.
phrase. A, very good. Independent, comma, phrase. طب لو الphrase at the very beginning. Phrase, comma.
Independent.
Independent. Phrase independent, phrase. Sorry, comma. Independent, comma, phrase. Phrase, comma, independent. Thank you. حنين.
Yes.
يلا يا جماعة, your answers. يا حنين.
I did it D.
D. Analyze and dissect the sentence.
While one requires an oxygen and one does not, comma.
This is what?
A phrase.
Phrase? No, it's not a phrase. لأن في subject هنا وفي verb وفي conjunction. يبقى it is what? Starts with after, before, if, because, while, though, although.
Is it a
الphrase
clause?
yes, subordinate clause. الphrase ما فيهاش verb. أنا عندي هنا one
Okay.
requires verb. الphrase ما فيهاش verb. دي إيه؟
Clause.
subordinate clause مش independent. لو أنا قلت one requires oxygen, this is independent. When I say while one requires oxygen, subordinate.
It's a subordinate.
Subject verb independent. طب conjunction subject verb subordinate. If the sentence starts with a subordinate clause, يبقى لازم في ايه؟
Comma, and then after it, the independent sentence.
اوكي. بعد كده في الإجابة
Independent sentence. D.
independent اللي هي aerobic and anaerobic are. هنا في subject وفي هنا verb, فدي independent. subordinate comma independent. ينفع subordinate full stop؟
No.
دي ايه؟
Fragment.
fragment. ولا ينفع semicolon لأن السيميكولن بتيجي between
نفس
two ايه؟
نفس الكونسبت. Two independent
لازم
sentences.
two independent clauses. ما ينفعش subordinate semicolon. اوكي؟ طبعا دي misses the comma between the subject and between the subordinate clause and the independent clause. Thank you. كان معايا ملك صح؟ حنين.
أيوة مثلا معاك.
يا جماعة الإيميل اللي يتكتب هو معلش هو أنتوا سوري مش هو بيتبعت لكم إيميل؟ Do you receive an email of your response؟ ولا ما حدش بيفتحه؟
يس. هو
بيبقى
احنا بعد لما بنخلص بيقول لنا فيو سكور، فبيطلع السكور والانسرز تحتيه.
طيب لازم
هو
تسيبه يا
ساعات
جماعة.
بيجي كتير، بيجي ايميل.
مش كتير، هو على طول. الايميل
هو
اللي
انا
بيجي
بس
بقى
كان
بقى
عندي
بالسكور صح؟
هو اوريدي اصلا السكور بيظهر بعد ما نحل،
You have to
وبيجي
save it يا
ايميل.
جماعة. بعد الكويز لازم you have to save it. Okay. Yeah, Haneen's turn, right? That's the last question. Haneen,
Yes.
yalla, go ahead.
Why did it be?
The others? Okay. Let's start. يلا حنين.
I did it be because first of all the subject Noura, I don't know the name. Then the verb is gonna be sought.
حلو قوي. يعني this part
Independent sentence.
independent.
So we need a separation.
Second part بقى.
Found it is the verb. She is gonna be the subject.
لا. Founded مش عارف كذا كذا كما. ما دي phrase. كما. أنا بتكلم على second sentence. بعد كده an international community.
بس ازاي phrase ما ممكن it can stand alone يعني لو she found it المكان اللي هي بتقول عليه خلاص.
معيش تاني كده.
يعني دلوقتي هو اللي تشوز مكتوب فيه ان هي هتيجي she. فشي found it last commandress.
أنا آسف.
يعني.
صح. يعني هنا الشي ده هنا شي. صح. سوري.
هتبقى complete sentence
خلاص انا
بعدين
مش
هي
محتاج. يعني هنا في subject وهنا في verb. ها.
يس.
يعني الاثنين independent.
بالظبط.
حلو جدا. ها. طب ايه المشكله في سي؟
ان هي سي في كوما فهتبقى كوما سبلايس.
كوما سبلايس ينفع and بس ولا المفروض كوما and؟
المفروض كوما اند.
المفروض كوما and. طب هنا A, can you combine two independent clauses with no punctuation at all?
No.
This is a
run
on. فthe only option هنا بقى ايه؟
البيريد عشان تعمل
البيريد اللي هو
separation.
to separate them not to combine them. لان ولا واحده من ال combining ways كانت موجودة عندي ف I have to separate them. Does anyone have a question?